The Great Depression, a time of poverty and despair. The 1920s are known as a time of wealth and prosperity, but this did not last long.
When fear spread over Wall Street, the nation's financial center, all prosperity was suddenly changed dramatically.
On October 29, 1929, also known as Black Tuesday, the biggest selling day in the history of the New York Stock Exchange began.
Many people began selling their stock and prices plummeted because very few were buying.
After this, the stock market lost 40% of its value in just 2 months.
It is said that some people even lost everything they had overnight.
Many Americans, even some millionaires, went bankrupt.
Although America did not know it at the time, it was about to enter the worst economic depression in history.
An economic depression is a period of time when the economy is suffering from a mass unemployment, low business activity, and a weak stock market.
The optimism and prosperity of the 1920s was quickly replaced by fear and gloom.
How the Great Depression was caused is a topic that is still debated to this day.
Some believe it was because of the growing gap between the rich and the poor.
Others think it may have been because the supply of goods and services was higher than the demand for goods and services.
This means businesses and farms were producing more than consumers could use.
Another theory is that it was all because of banks losing people's money in the stock market crash.
As it turns out, neither was strictly supervised by the government.
Because of this, people who had put their money in banks or invested in the stock market were not really protected.
Another thing that happened during the Great Depression were penny auctions.
Penny auctions were when farmers were forced to sell their land back to the banks.
But close friends or neighbors helped them buy it back.
They did this by holding penny auctions.
Penny auctions were small auctions where everyone contributed a small amount.
Hence the word penny.
To help the owner buy his or her farmland back.
This is a chart that shows the unemployment rates in the U.S. and Canada each year of the Great Depression.
The highest unemployment rate in the United States was 14.2% in 1935.
The lowest unemployment rate was 3.2% in 1929.
Some other facts are:
the Great Depression started in 1929 and lasted until the beginning of World War II.
Many people began living on the streets and were forced to go to places where free food was offered.
9,000 banks failed during the 1930s and were forced to close.
Employment agencies were always very busy, packed with unemployed workers looking for any job they could get.
The average income of Americans dropped by 40% from 1929 to 1932.
It fell from $2,300 to $1,500 per year.
Unemployment grew to 5 million in 1930 and then grew again to 13 million in 1932.
Thanks for watching!